This is the story of a man who had almost nothing. No savings, no clear future, very little hope, until one small decision quietly changed everything. He chose to wake up at 5 in the morning, not once, not sometimes, every day, and in less than 100 days, his life no longer looked the same. What he did during those early hours surprised even him, and it might be the answer you have been looking for without realizing it. Before this story begins, think about this for a moment. What time are you listening right now? Is it early or is it late? Wherever you are, this story begins in a place that felt very far from success. In a quiet industrial town where factories ran without rest, there lived a 34-year-old man named Daniel. Daniel worked as a night security guard at a large storage warehouse on the edge of town. Every evening at 8, he reported for duty. Every morning, just after 6, he walked home with tired legs and heavy thoughts. His pay was small, only enough to cover food and rent. He lived in a cramped one-room apartment with peeling paint and a fan that barely worked. He slept on a thin mattress on the floor. One weak light bulb flickered whenever the power dropped. His clothes were worn. His shoes were cracked at the soles. But Daniel's biggest struggle was not money. It was the feeling of being stuck. Each morning, as he walked home while the town slowly woke up, he passed glowing windows, families eating breakfast, children tying their shoes, men and women in clean clothes leaving for offices and shops. Daniel would look at them and think, will this be my life forever? Always walking home while others are just beginning theirs. He had tried to escape this life. He applied for better jobs, but he only finished high school. Every application ended the same way, rejected. He wanted to learn new skills, but after working all night, his body demanded sleep. When he lay down in the morning and slept until late afternoon, it felt like the world moved forward without him. He was awake when life slept and asleep when life happened. Once a week, his mother called from the countryside. Her voice was gentle but tired. Daniel, my son, when will your life improve? I am growing old. I want to see you stand strong before my time ends. Daniel always answered the same way. Soon, Mama, I am working on it. But deep down, he knew the truth. He was not working on it. Not because he was lazy, but because he did not know how. The thought that haunted him most was this. He worked hard. He walked miles each night. He stayed alert. He followed every rule. Yet nothing changed. Hard work alone was not saving him. He was working hard in a life that led nowhere. One thought returned again and again, like a quiet voice in the dark. There has to be another way. One cold morning in late autumn, just as Daniel was leaving his shift, his phone rang. It was his sister. Her voice was shaking. You need to come home now. Mama collapsed. She is at the clinic. His chest tightened. He boarded the first bus to the village. The ride lasted hours and felt endless. At the small clinic, his mother lay in a narrow bed. She was awake, but weak. The doctor explained she had collapsed from exhaustion and stress. She needed rest, better food, and medicine they could barely afford. His mother held Daniel's hand. Her voice was soft. My son, please do not waste your life like I did. Find a way. Promise me. Daniel stayed beside her long after she slept. He stared at her hands, rough and worn from years of labor, hands that looked just like his own future if nothing changed. Something inside him snapped, not into sadness, but into resolve. He stepped outside the clinic before sunrise. The sky was dark blue. The village was quiet. A few farmers were already walking toward their fields. Birds began to sing. The air felt clean and alive. Daniel checked the time. It was 5 in the morning. Standing there in the stillness, he whispered to himself, "No more. I will not live like this forever." On the bus ride back to town, Daniel noticed a man sitting across from him. The man was in his late 50s, neatly dressed, calmly reading a book. Daniel recognized him, Mr. Hanley, a local businessman who owned several small shops. What surprised Daniel most was the time. It was early morning. A successful man riding a regular bus. Daniel gathered his courage. "Sir, may I ask you something? Why are you traveling so early?" Mr. Hanley smiled. "Because I wake up before the world does. I use the early hours to think, learn, and plan." Daniel frowned. "But do you not get tired?" "I sleep early. My rest is protected." Mr. Hanley studied Daniel's tired face. "You work nights, yes. And when do you sleep?" "In the morning until afternoon." Mr. Hanley nodded slowly. "So you are awake when life is quiet and asleep when opportunity moves. That is why you feel stuck." He leaned closer. "Let me share something that changed my life many years ago. The hours between 5 and 7 in the morning. Those hours are powerful. They are when you build your future while others are still dreaming." Hope stirred inside Daniel. "But how? I work nights. I need sleep." "Then adjust your sleep," Mr. Hanley said. "Rest when you get home. Wake earlier, even if it is hard. Those hours will change you." He wrote his number on a small card. "If you are serious, call me, but only if you are ready to be disciplined." That night, Daniel called. The next morning, for the first time in years, he was awake during daylight on a workday. They met at a small cafe. Mr. Hanley drew a simple sketch. "Your life is like a house. Right now, you only repair the walls. You never build the foundation. The early hours are your foundation time. 2 hours each morning." He explained how they added up. Weeks, months, years. Time most people never claim. "Here is the system," he said. "First hour, learn a skill that improves your income. Second hour, strengthen your body and mind. No excuses, no negotiation. Sleep early. The first weeks will hurt. After 3 weeks, it becomes routine. After 90 days, it becomes identity." Daniel accepted the challenge. The alarm rang at 5. His body screamed. His mind begged him to stop. But he remembered his mother's voice. He stood up. The first weeks were brutal. He studied basic data and bookkeeping lessons online. He walked in silence as the sun rose. He was tired, lonely. Doubt followed him, but he did not quit. Slowly, understanding replaced confusion. Energy replaced resentment. By the second month, Daniel felt sharper, healthier. He completed courses. He applied what he learned at work. He organized records no one had touched. His supervisor noticed. Then the manager. One morning, he was offered a daytime role with higher pay. Months later, Daniel moved his mother closer. He rented a better home. But he never stopped waking early. Those hours became sacred. When asked why he still woke so early, Daniel smiled and said, "Success is built before the world wakes. Small habits shape big lives. Success is built before the world wakes." If this story touched you, like, share, and subscribe.